opening night of the MJ the Musical, and just
Yes.
very quickly, we want to share our thoughts and opinions on everything. I actually got a chance to see the dress rehearsal a couple of nights before, so I'm gonna share my thoughts on that too. But we got a couple of likes and dislikes and things we wanted to share about it. I'm trying to find the right angle. Real cool. Oh, the tree in the back. That's nice. All right, so I'll let you start. I think you first. So give me a one like you like.
One of my likes is the staging design. I like how, from going from the rehearsal stage to different parts of his life, how they just intercepted all of that. Was really interesting how they did that. It was going from Soul Train or the actual stage of the Dangerous Tour or the hotel room that the J5 stayed in as kids. It's
Yeah.
really well done. Really well
Very,
done.
very cool design, great lighting, going from transitioning from scene to scene. Everything was pretty dope visually. It's a very visually appealing show. I'm very excited about that. All right, give me a not like.
I feel that while the play was really well done, something that really irked me was how the family was portrayed in the play.
Ooh. Yep.
We all know the Jackson family has a very long publicized history of sometimes dysfunction or whatever, but it very much felt like they threw the family under the bus.
Sure enough.
It was as if they were all using him and all, mistreating him.
Yeah.
Joe Jackson, while we all know the stories, was portrayed as a villain in the story,
Like literally.
and
Like
bothered me.
wait
It
till you see how
bothersome.
Thriller was done. That
It was
was
bothersome.
kind of crazy. But okay. All right, real quick before we go to the next one, this is a little bit of back history about us. So me and this dude, when we were like kids, we was in all the Michael Jackson discussion boards and shit, arguing back and forth, dissing each other, all that stuff. And this is our actual first time meeting. So we've known each other online about 20 years or so. And we agreed to meet. He came all the way from one side of the country. I came all the way from the other. And this is our first time meeting, coming to the show. So it's a cool full circle moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, appreciate that. All right, my turn. Give me, let me see one of my likes here. We're gonna go through this list fast, y'all, because my arm getting tired. Like the camera's all shaking. I'm sorry. Real general, the cast was great. I have no real beefs with the cast. Everybody did an amazing job. Yeah, everybody was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. My not like is some of the character doubling choices, i.e. Joseph and Catherine. The actors portraying them also portrayed the road manager and a background singer. So sometimes they would go back and forth between characters in the same moment. And it's definitely a creative decision. But they don't change clothes or they don't change hair or wigs or anything like that. So it's like, okay, what's happening? So I don't know.
Just voices.
Yeah, they just changed voices, so it's just kind of like, okay, it's a choice. I don't necessarily agree with the choice, but the actors, of course, they did an amazing job with said choice. All right, your turn with show.
I really enjoyed how they used lesser known songs. It just wasn't the hits. It wasn't just Rock With You and Ben and those kind of songs. They used lesser known songs like Money, Tabloid Junkie. They used
Price of
Prince
Fame.
of Fame very prominently in the play.
Okay, don't give too much away.
Okay.
All right, what's the not like?
The not like I had was certain timeline inaccuracies.
Inaccuracies, yeah.
They presented the Jackson 5 and the Jackson songs in the same year. Blame It on the Boogie and Dancing Machine the same year.
Right,
It was
1973, yeah.
Another one was presenting the Jacksons catalog in a certain way. They said that the album Destiny was a flop.
Come on now.
Yet it was their first platinum album after Motown. It had 2 or 3 hit singles. Massive tour.
Come on. We know that. We know that. So I was like, they just kind of just threw the family and their legacy and stuff that they have accomplished as a family under the bus just a little bit. And we don't like that.
Yeah.
Cool. My turn again. Okay, this is the one I stole from him. I'll let you go ahead and say it. This is
Go
we're
ahead,
sharing
go
this.
ahead, you go
No,
ahead.
no, because you said it so eloquently. So we'll go ahead. This is good.
One thing that I think over the years about Michael's story that has kind of been treated weirdly is Michael's life as a black man.
Michael Jackson is a black man,
And this play was very much about reaffirming his place as his role as a black man in
a
America,
proud black man.
and his role in black music history.
Yes, and his
So-
acknowledgement of where he was in it and the injustices of it, and where in comparison to other acts, of lesser caliber and lesser talent. So I appreciate that they showed Michael at his boldest, proudly declaring his proudest of his racist heritage and just fully understanding where he is in it. So that was dope. Give us a little bit more of that, please. My not like is it was too performance heavy, I think. I know, of course, Michael Jackson, we want to see him dance, we want to see him perform or whatever, but some essence became like, okay, we could go to Vegas to see that. I came here to see story, I came here to see execution, I came here to get a deeper understanding. I know we feel like we know everything that we know about him, but especially for those that might come on the fence, like a lot of time was spent on performance and songs and stuff. It just turned into a concert at some point. I'm like, we don't need that,
Yeah.
especially if it's not Mike.
Let me see. What's the next one? The next one is I really enjoyed the musicianship of the show. The band was wonderful. They presented Michael's songs in a very well done way.
Dope, beautiful musicianship, real
They
dope.
used stems from the multi-tracks of certain songs to kind of expand on the songs, but that was really well done.
Okay.
My dislike is
I hated this.
towards the end it got very Sister Act-esque.
They went full Sister
They
Act.
went
at
in like
the
in
end.
the colorful outfits, and they were doing medleys of the songs.
Joyful,
and-
joyful, Lord, we adore thee.
Yeah, that
Like-
was something that I didn't like.
Come on, y'all. I don't know. So my thing is like, I'm not of the theater world. I'm a filmmaker. I'm in films. So there might be some conventions of Broadway and theater that I don't really get or like or dig, but I think they could have went another way with that. But cool. Whose turn is it? Mine? My like is I love the older Jackson 5 segment. Like what we just talked about, the Blame It on the Boogie and stuff. It's supposed to be Jackson's, but inaccurate. We know that. But it was I think the most vibrant. The colors, everything was dope. The choreography was dope. That's where I perked up the most. That whole segment, pretty much all the way through Thriller, I enjoyed the most. That was pretty dope. Performance-wise, I did not like Man in the Mirror. I feel like it was a wasted opportunity. I like how you broke it down to me, like what it meant. And also, of course, with theater and Broadway, they perform pretty much every day, sometimes a couple times a day. So they might have to conserve their voice. So the amazing woman that played Catherine and the background singer, I felt like she reserved too much. Like, lady, Mike took us to church every night. I'm gonna need you to take us to church. If you're gonna sing that song, like stump your feet, do something. You don't have to be Mike, but just take the personification of that song and what it means. And I wish they involved the audience more, because I felt like they were talking to the audience by that point too. So just give us a little bit more feeling. It just felt like, okay. And then she said, come on, and not Shimon. Like, come on, don't go Shimon, help us out. Wish list. We're going into wish
Yeah.
list. So quick things that we wish that they did.
To piggyback off of him, I think instead of doing Man in the Mirror, I think Will You Be There would have been a stronger choice.
Especially for
how
what was to
our
come.
Really how autobiographical Michael's life was, and how the timing is set in the play.
Yeah.
It's set in 1992, and knowing what Michael's life was afterwards, Will You Be There probably would have been a better fit, in my opinion.
Yeah, but we know Man in the Mirror is the most known song, so they're gonna go with that. But
Yeah.
like the other shows are using Man in the Mirror as that moment, so I don't think every show needs to use it as that moment. So we could be a little bit more creative with that. And then you also said the other song was his
Childhood. I think Childhood would have been a good idea to use during the Jackson 5 segment. Or explaining his life to the reporter in the play. I think that would have been a really good choice.
Cool. I wish there was a little bit more era appropriate wigs and costumes. Like I said, all the actors were amazing, but it was just a little bit disjointing for Jermaine to have locks.
Cornrows.
And cornrows and locks. So it's like, put a wig on him or something, like, and then Joe didn't have a wig, so it's just like, give us a little bit more era appropriate stuff. But, I don't know. I just wish they did that more. What else? Ooh.
Something else that really
Yeah.
was they passed by Bad very quickly.
They didn't even acknowledge it at all, really.
It was a very central part of Michael's solo career, and they kind of just came and went in the play. They didn't really cover it much. So they could have at least kind of explored. They could have dedicated a segment to the show to that. Same way they did with Bad, Off the Wall, and Thriller.
I would further add that I think that the show would have been a little stronger if it was based on the Bad tour, because especially if they were leaning so heavy on the family dynamic or whatnot and the pressure he felt under the family, showing him go out on his own for the first time on tour would have added a little bit more weight to the story, I feel. I also felt like I wish that more women would have been represented. Like maybe to have somebody represent Janet, that would have been dope.
LaToya. LaToya also could have been, like, it's how close they were. Diana Ross.
Yeah, definitely Diana Ross, because they were going on about like the list of influences, and I don't think they mentioned Diana Ross at all.
They very briefly referenced Suzanne DePass in the play. She was it was
Suzanne.
like,
Oh yeah.
Suzanne DePass, Elizabeth Taylor. There was no presenting of them in the play.
Yeah, so a little bit more of the ladies. That would be dope moving forward.
Yeah. And I really appreciated how
I need to see. I don't know what I gotta say.
How they approached the vitiligo subject of vitiligo.
I felt like they could have done a little bit more. It was just like a couple sentences that said, I would have loved to have the scene of like Mike finally coming into his own and really feeling himself, and then, damn, I got hit with this, I wish that we could see what that moment is and what that felt like and what that feels like. Because it's just now, unfortunately, he had to die for people to start getting it and people coming out with their own diagnosis and things like that. So to show him dealing with it and coming up with the decision to feeling like he had to hide it, that would make a world of difference of people's perception of it.
Yeah.
So please adjust that. What else?
Let me see.
I'm trying to wrap this up here.
The last thoughts. The crowd of the show, over was very wow.
I was overwhelmed. I felt overwhelmed with love.
It,
Although we were on guard though, because we didn't know if something was going to pop off, or somebody was going to try to act up, or we didn't know.
The crowd was packed. The room was packed. It was at least 3 or 4 standing ovations during the show. Mm-hmm. People were singing along. People were dancing along. It was very much like, it very much gave of why Michael was so special to his fans.
All races, creeds, colors, ages, everybody was fully represented.
People from Russia there, people from China was there,
was
the
amazing.
UK, Canada. It just shows you his reach around the world.
So overall, great show. We loved it. I understand that in Broadway there's a thing such as previews. I don't know if they're going to be making adjustments, but we're going to come back some point next year, summertime or whatever, to see what adjustments are made. So hopefully somebody sees our notes and make adjustments to it. And great show. Please get your tickets now, support it, and look out for some interesting things coming on. They gave me some ideas, so I might, but we'll talk about that later. But last words?
Just a great show. They did Michael right, and happy about that.
Cool. All right, I'm going back to Atlanta. He's going home, so peace. It's my first live. I don't even know how to close this thing. How do you turn this off? Do we just hit that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.